The stranger I was. I could never have believed that the world as formed was framed, ordered, and equipped for its intended purpose by a word, so that the visible and tangible was made out of the invisible and intangible. I could never have understood how Enoch was caught up and transferred to heaven, so that he did not have a glimpse of death, and he was not found because God had translated him. I could never have been the Noah who diligently and reverently constructed and prepared an ark for his family, after being forewarned by God concerning events of which, as yet, there was no visible sign. How could I have been the Abraham who, though he didn't know where he was to go, was urgently called and obeyed and went forth to the place which he was destined to receive as an inheritance, dwelling as a stranger in a strange land, expectantly and confidently looking forward to the city which has fixed and firm foundations, whose architect and builder is God. Look, time would fail me to talk of the things and people that I could never have been when I was still a stranger to the assurance of the things we hope for, proof of things we do not see, and the conviction of their reality. Until the stranger I was came to the realization that, though I have never walked on water, felt the waves beneath my feet, at his word I received the faith to dive into ocean's depth. Otherwise, I was just a lifeless clay waiting to die a second death. But thanks be to him and only God who put my broken pieces together, breathed life into my lifeless breath, and gave me to dress in immortality in the mortal. And now you, whose name is failure, and you feel trampled on, rejected, disrespected, and torn between life and death, I don't need you to be the Abraham who by faith moved from a known land to an unknown land. You don't need to be the Enoch who was caught up in heaven without tasting the glimpse of death. You don't even need to be the Noah who built the ark and saved his family. No. All you need is to come to the revelation of sonship through the one and only begotten Son, whose death became life to us who were dead in sin. Life and death isn't what you have to choose from now, but life is, because you are loved, valued, and cared for, not by merely what the world knows, but by the one who is concerned about your life, the author and finisher of the good work that he began in you. The stranger I was isn't anything anyone listening to me should be anymore. Because I have come to remind you that even now, Jesus is interested in you and he loves you, not because of what you do, but because that is who he is. Love. Love is what he is. He needs you to believe that he nailed your iniquities at the cross of Calvary and that you are saved by grace, not by your good deeds. The stranger I was is a strange thing to be, because at the slightest blow of the wind you are fallen, and the thought of what next is death, because it feels like you can't help it all, and that you think to die is peace and to live is death. And maybe you're right, because the presence of Jesus in you is the beginning of life. You don't want to be the stranger I was.